say the word self-care, I'm sure you have a rough idea of what that could look like. For a lot of people, it's the idea of a face mask, of a bubble bath, of going on a walk, pampering yourself for the day. But ultimately, this video is here to teach you exactly how you should take care of yourself, because self-care is not a one-size-fits-all treatment. Hi guys, my name is Rain, and I'm here to teach you how to take reign of your own life. So before we get started on this myriad of information that I have prepared for this video, I just want you to be present with me, okay? I know this is a lot to ask, given in the world that we currently live in, where everything is short form content, such as TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, even Facebook has its own version. I want you to treat this video like we are on a phone call together. There is nothing else that you need to do right now, but just listen, focus, and hopefully enjoy whatever it is that I have to share with you today, because self-care is something I'm genuinely passionate about. If it hadn't been for self-care, I would not be the person I am today, because it really is integral to our mental health, our physical health, spiritual health, you name it. You can put self-care in quite literally every basket of your life. Okay, so we're going to get started with some hard truths just to kind of break some stigmas and debunk some things about self-care. First one being, you will disappoint some people when you prioritize your self-care. Okay, the minute that you start putting yourself at the forefront of your life, other people will get upset because all of a sudden they can't have you at their disposal, right? People intrinsically are very selfish. And I know some people will disagree and they'll say, hey, I do so much for people. I know, okay? I know not everybody is selfish, but there are people that will take advantage of other people. And especially if you are a good person, people can read that very well and they're gonna know, or they're gonna think, what's in it for me? Okay, so that's a hard truth, honestly. You will disappoint people, and do expect that. And furthermore, it's not your fault that you decided, hey, I'm gonna take this step into changing my lifestyle to literally benefit my needs. Okay, second hard truth, self-care, honestly, on social media is glamorized. Okay, if I go on TikTok right now as a woman, and I type in self-care, what is it going to pull up for me? It's going to pull up probably a beautiful girl who is showing me all these different products that, make her skin glow, that exfoliate her body. You know what I mean? Social media pushes the rhetoric that self-care is something to romanticize. And ideally, yes, we want to romanticize something that is good for us. But nobody talks about the difficult parts, because that's not so cute, isn't it? Okay? Self-care often means doing the things that you don't want to do, and especially when you want to do them the least, right? When we are having a good day, how easy is it to take care of ourselves? Breeze. Easy. But what about the days when we have something crappy go on? Do we want to take care of ourselves now? Not really. But remember, take care of yourself, especially, and I mean especially, when you need it the most. And the same goes for if you want to be a disciplined person, right? Don't just rely on motivation to get you there. Do it, especially if you don't want to do it. Okay? And again, I'm trying to push that message of self-care is not just bubble baths and face masks. Can you include it? Yes, and we will be going over that. But it really isn't everything. A lot of it is what we have going on internally and working through that. Okay? My next point, your boundaries, when you start taking care of yourself fully, will scare some people away. It's okay. Let them go. You know the phrase, what is meant for you won't pass you by? This very much holds true with the people that are meant to be in your life. A lot of people crave control. And if a certain person is not able to have you right where they want you, they get disappointed. But are we people pleasers, or are we someone that takes care of themselves? That is the massive question here. I promise you, I truly think that when you start to take care of yourself, the people that are not meant for you will naturally weed themselves out. Like, it'll literally be the garbage taking itself out, because some people are really not meant to see you at your best. And in fact, some people would gladly take comfort in knowing that some people don't want to fully improve themselves, or that there are some people that don't want to fully see their potential. Because the minute that someone takes care of themselves, subconsciously to some people, it's a threat. Okay, so keep that in mind. Your boundaries will scare some people away. It's okay. Let them go. Next point. Don't neglect yourself taking care of someone else. You don't owe anyone your time, a quick text back, or emotional support when you need to be giving it to yourself first. Okay, well, there's going to be people arguing with me in the comments, but what if it's an emergency? What if, like, I have to, like, look after someone? Okay, yeah, like, of course. If it's an emergency, if you have a family member that is sick, no brainer. You're going to take care of people in emergency and dire situations. But on a normal day-to-day, don't neglect yourself taking care of someone else. I know that likely if you're watching this, you're someone that cares immensely about other people and you want to see other people do well. But how much does that belief hold true when it comes to your own well-being? How much will you put yourself second place or third place just to see someone else happy? Okay? You don't owe anyone your time. It is not your responsibility to always be there for someone. And, like, you may want that because you know that's going to make you a good person and you know that you care about other people. But all of that goes out of the window when you don't take care of yourself, because what's happening really is you're pouring your energy out of an empty cup. That's like literally trying to drive a car when there's no gas in the tank. How far are you really going to go with that? You know what I mean? Neglecting yourself to take care of somebody else may seem like an act of love, but giving from a place of emptiness, like we mentioned, only leads to resentment towards the other person and eventually towards yourself. Exactly. It's not going to look good if you carry on life like this, because I'm telling you, we may think we're doing ourselves a favor by helping someone else. But again, if you're coming from a glass that's empty, not even half empty, that's fully empty, you are going to dehydrate yourself. Okay? We need to pour back into ourselves before we give our value to others. Self-care requires letting go of relationships, habits, and choices that are familiar but no longer serve you. Okay? Naturally, as humans, we are creatures of habit. Even if something is bad for us, our body can grow a dependence on it, right? Like, let's take, for example, drugs. A drug, if we take it consistently, our body takes a dependence to it. Whether it's good or bad for us is out of the discussion. It's going to happen, right? We're going to get dependent on it. And it's the same thing with relationships that aren't good for us. It's the same thing with habits that aren't good for us and choices that aren't good for us. Now, I'm not saying we consistently make bad choices 24/7, but self-care is going to help you dive into what you are doing that may be actually hindering your growth as opposed to helping your growth. Okay? So when it comes to self-care, be prepared to say goodbye. Like, it's tough. But honestly, I like this phrase a lot, but your new life is going to cost you your old one. And this really does hold true with wanting the full potential of self-care happening in your life. It means being honest with yourself, especially when the truth is hard to admit. Just as it is hard to take care of ourselves when we need it the most, it is difficult to admit the truth when you don't really want to be honest with yourself, because being honest with yourself means being uncomfortable, right? And a lot of us don't really want to step out of our comfort zone because it's scary to step into a new territory. But that's the cost of growth, is to be uncomfortable, right? I've already said it. I stole the very thunder from the 8th point of this segment, is self-care is hardest to do when you need it the most. That thought, that very sentence crosses my mind every time I have a bad day. But do you know why this sentence helps? It makes you put in the work, okay? It's not easy at first, and I'm not gonna like completely discredit people that are having bad days. Some days you just really don't want to do stuff. Like, I love self-care, but if I'm having like a really emotionally intense day, I just want to be in my bed. Like, keeping it 100, keeping it real. But again, remember that. Remember that very notion, because you are going to be stuck one day and you're going to be like, okay, I know self-care is hard to do when I need it most. But what did Rain tell me to do? Do the work. Especially when it's hard. Because you're going to yield a way better reward. Now that that is firmly established in our brain, I hope, if you've been focusing, we are going to get into something that I really love when it comes to self-care. And this works on people that are single, and it works on people that are in relationships. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. I'm going to need you, if you've been listening, I'm going to need you to go into the description of my video. There will be a quiz. It's not going to take very long. All you have to do is take the quiz and come back. It is going to be a love language quiz. Now, why am I asking you to do this? Our love language pretty much signifies how we want other people to show us love. And the reason I'm saying that it can work for people in relationships, because if you know your partner's love language, you know exactly what they need as well to help them feel taken care of. And you can even show them this video and advise them, hey, okay, your love language is quality time. Let's look at what could help you take care of yourself. This is why I'm stressing the importance of this and how amazing this is. I love this, okay? My personal love language is physical touch, but go ahead and take the test. This is, of course, valuable information to know about yourself, right? Okay, go take the test. I'll still be here. Pause this video, come back, and we'll discuss every love language needed. This video is very much in chronological order. You don't have to listen to all of these specific love languages, but I do think all of us are comprised of all 5 love languages. We just pick and choose what we like to prioritize in our life, right? Because nobody's just one thing, okay? Keep that in mind. But of course, I will timestamp each respective love language. If you want to go to yours, if you want to go to your partner's, by all means. But again, if you want to take absolutely everything you can out of this video, I highly recommend you watch everything. Physical touch. So, couple of things I have here, and these ideas are not the be all end all. Like, guys, if you have ideas that you like to do and it corresponds with your love language, put it in the comments below. Like, I love seeing new stuff to do. The idea of this is you never want to get bored, right? Because the minute somebody gets bored of something is when they are less likely to carry on with it. So keep it fun and keep it fresh, right? Physical touch. So what I have here is cultivate a beautiful skincare routine that makes you feel taken care of. Whether you are a man or a woman, okay, skincare is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Why? Your skin is the largest organ in your body. Also, your skin is what people are looking at. It is the external part of you. And I do think, truly, that somebody that takes care of themselves on the inside, it reflects on the outside. And I know we are talking about skincare, but still, it's the same thing applied. If you put, products that work well with you, for you, on your face, it's gonna translate biologically and subconsciously to someone that, oh my god, this person is taking care of themselves, right? Naturally, even when we're looking for partners, we are searching for health in other people. We are searching for if someone takes care of their skin again. We are searching for if someone looks healthy in the sense of fit, like someone that maybe works out or maybe is muscular or maybe is toned, right? To each their own. Everyone's going to have their own attraction. But this skincare routine, whatever you decide to do, whether it's like a full-blown skincare routine or going to a dermatologist or, maybe going to a doctor about specific skin concerns, this is just designed to make you feel taken care of. For people that value physical touch as their love language, you know, we can't always have physical touch from our partner. And especially if we're single, I'm somebody that's single, like I value all these things so much because it makes me feel like I'm pouring into myself. You know what I mean? So definitely skincare is something to consider for my physical touch folk, but of course for everyone too, right? Why wouldn't we want to take care of our skin? Next thing, and I know you're gonna laugh because I'm like, skincare, bubble bath, but have a bath, or if you don't have a bath, have a nice hot shower. It works wonders on our muscles when we have a bath or a shower. It just relaxes them, it soothes them, you know, have the whole like Epsom salt situation going on. It's fantastic. Like if I could take a bath like 3 times a week, I would, but I can't do that unfortunately, so shower it is. But even with showers, guys, you can get like those steam things that you put in the shower, like I know like some are like eucalyptus scented. You can get all sorts of different scents, so if you want to like spice it up, I'm not saying you need to spend a bajillion dollars to take care of yourself, but hey, if the shoe fits, right? Another thing I have for my physical touch folk, and again, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. Like I did say in the beginning, it's not a one size fits all thing, but it has to work for you. So with that, with knowing what works for you, comes trial and error. So another thing I have is dry brush your skin, okay? I've tried this, and when I first tried it, I was very like, because it feels a little bit rough on your skin. Essentially, you're using a dry brush and you're going upwards. What I've learned is to go in the direction of your heart always. So if I'm like dry brushing here, I'm moving it this way, right? Same thing here, I'm moving it upwards to where my heart is. This helps a lot with exfoliation, getting rid of dead skin cells, and for softer skin. Like, I've also heard that it helps with cellulite, so if that's a concern, or if you just want to like be proactive for the future, this is another really good thing to do. Just dry brush before you get in the shower, okay? Another thing that I like to do, and has like actually helped me so much with growing my hair, like guys, last year my hair used to be like all the way to my collarbones because I had to get it cut. Like it was damaged, it was not giving at all. Give your scalp a massage, okay? There are some people that will literally go upside down and massage their scalp for like proper blood circulation, but I literally can't do that because I'm anemic. But what you can do, and what is free, because you know what I mean, give your scalp a massage. It is so nice when someone else does it for you, but literally doing it for yourself will relieve stress. It is so nice to do, and in the long run will actually like it'll feel like your hair is growing faster because you're low-key like speeding up the cycle of your hair. You know, like there's hair that is already dead on your scalp and you're just stimulating growth. So win-win, right? Stress relief and longer hair. We love to see it. Okay? Again, this one involves money. You don't have to do this. But for me, as someone that enjoys like these kind of things for self-care, schedule a hair or a nail appointment. Again, it doesn't have to be just that. It can be literally anything you want. You could have a whole spa day booked. Make that like a non-negotiable, right? And I'm not saying every day you must go to the spa, but you know, make it realistic for you. Once a month, once every 3 months, once every year. Like, who cares? Just the goal is to make yourself excited for self-care, right? So there's that. Exfoliate, okay? Again, don't go overboard. I like to exfoliate once a week with a nice little scrub in the shower. It feels good. It feels nice. It's a sensory thing, of course. It's a physical touch thing. So do with that what you will. Use body oil. Okay, once you've done your whole exfoliation, maybe you shaved, whatever. Once you get out the shower, put body oil on. And again, this is going to be a preference thing. Some people may not like it. Some people might like it. Moisturize your skin after a shower. Okay? And honestly, it's not even on this list here, and I'm like upset that I didn't add it, but physical touch, I feel like yoga would be such a good thing to put here. Like, even though you're not technically applying anything on your skin, I always feel so relaxed after yoga, and there are all sorts of different kinds of yoga where, some are very high energy and like high impact, but I'm talking about yin yoga, guys, and I'm gonna link one of my favorite yin yoga videos that I do every time I feel like the world is ending because it literally helps so much. Like, anytime I've ever done yin yoga, I sleep like a baby. It's just my skin. Oh my god, I feel so good. Like, I don't know why I said my skin. My muscles, like, literally feel like they've just gone for a massage. Like, it is incredible, okay? So that's what I have for my physical touch folk. Let's get into quality time, okay? So here's what I have for people that chose quality time or have gotten quality time on their test. Quiz. So, schedule a date night with yourself, okay? Like, honestly, what would your ideal date night look like for yourself? One thing I've always loved to do when, like, my friends couldn't come out or, like, just I couldn't make plans with anyone, but, like, I really wanted to do things is go on solo dates. And to this day, like, I do have friends that I can go see. I love it, okay? It is, like, if you're someone who's, like, naturally introverted or just, like, really enjoys spending time with themselves, this is gonna be the bomb.com, okay? Like, you can either plan a night just at home. What do you enjoy doing? Okay, you're gonna know exactly within yourself what is fun, what you like to do to unwind. You can make a whole evening out of it, or you can make a whole day out of it. It's up to you and what kind of person you are, okay? Just throwing that as an option. Next thing to do is go to a cafe. Literally, one of my favorite things, again, to do is to go to a coffee shop. Like, there is just something about the ambiance of a cafe, like, especially when, you're familiar with the space, or maybe you're not familiar, but you like the staff. They're very nice, they're very friendly. You've got, like, comfortable seating areas. Again, like, the lighting, the music, like, you need to find a space. If you're someone that's, like, a quality time kind of person, you need to find a space that feels so incredibly, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it just feels invigorating in some way. Like it just makes you feel inspired to do more with yourself. It makes you feel inspired to just bask in that moment. Explore nature. For me, this is not sustainable because I live in Canada, okay? And it is snowing outside, but explore nature, okay? Go on a walk, go on a hike. Even if you're just, like, in your car and you step out at a parking lot and just take a little walk somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, it really is just, like, exploring your surroundings that will make you feel like you're more present and aware. Because oftentimes we're sat on our phones, we're behind a desk at work. Like, we weren't born for this kind of life, you know what I mean? Like, technology has taken over so much. None of us were born to sit all day. None of us were born to do this kind of stuff. We need to remember where we are and who we are. And an integral part of that is by connecting with nature. Okay? Read a book or watch a TV series, okay? Some of us are going to be readers, some of us are going to be watchers, some of us are going to be both, some of us are going to be neither. Oh, rhymed. But either way, again, you know exactly in yourself what you like. You know you like quality time, so put that time into something you truly care about, okay? Journal. Journaling is huge. I just, like, love journaling so much. I used to journal a lot as a kid. Like, I would write every single day. I was maybe 11 or 12 when I got my first notebook, and I was always writing stuff. But then I got older and I didn't really like it anymore. You know what I started doing? Voice memos. Okay, I go onto the voice memos app on my phone. I hit record. Just like I'm talking to you now, I will talk to myself. I will yap. Okay, so you need to find a way that works for you in regards to journaling. Not everyone loves it, I understand, but journaling in short, is just catharsis. It's a form of release of whatever is stressing us out. So again, I'm not saying you have to write pages and pages in a notebook. If you do not like writing, there are so many ways that you can journal about something. Okay, like I said, I threw out the voice memos thing because I love to talk. But maybe you don't love to talk. Maybe you don't love to write, but you like to draw. You like to create art. Maybe it's on a canvas, maybe it's on a piece of paper, maybe it's digitally. Go ham with it. Express yourself. It is essentially just about self-expression. Okay? Next one is meditate. Okay? Again, same thing. I used to love meditations. I would make that, like, again, part of my religious little hobby. Like, wake up every morning, meditate, go to sleep with a meditation. There are now apps for this thing that can keep you consistent, but honestly, if you're just starting out, it's not worth paying for. We have this beautiful thing called technology that's either in your hand right now or you're watching from a big screen. There's so many free videos, and again, I will link anything that I talk about, I will link that's relevant to this video. There are meditations that I love that are for just about anything. If you know in yourself there's a specific, emotion that you feel a lot, like for example, anger, there's a meditation video out there for anger. If you're someone who suffers from a lot of physical pain and physical tension or stresses a lot, there's a meditation for that. It's progressive muscle relaxation. There is so much bountiful content on this app, and I'm like just so eternally grateful because it's aided me in my mental health so much, which is exactly why I want to make these videos for you guys as like my way of saying thank you, because seriously, like, meditation is slept on. I make this joke because if I don't sit up and do a meditation, I will fall back to bed. Meditation is slept on. Please try it, okay? If it doesn't work, right? Honestly, guys, I want you to tell me everything. Like, if something doesn't work here, I want you to tell me why. Like, if you've tried meditating before, why hasn't it worked? Okay? And I'm not saying you have to dedicate an entire hour of your day to meditate. If you can, that is so cool. For me, though, 5 to 10 minutes every morning. Solid. It's good. It honestly builds such an important framework for your day. Get on it. Promise you it'll work. Actually, no, I don't promise that because people are going to go after me. Just try it. Okay. Another thing for my quality time folk. I realize maybe not a lot of you are early birds. Maybe some of you are night owls. But there is something to be said in waking up early to spend time alone before your day starts. Sorry guys, I got a little itch on my nose. Okay? What is your schedule? Essentially, this self-care is all going to be based around your schedule. And as humans, we are adapting, we are evolving. If you look at yourself last year, you're probably not having the exact same day. Like, it's rare. Okay? But with that said, you know your schedule. So if you know, hey, like, I can actually make the effort to get up early and, like, spend some time with myself and, like, quality time before I have to head into work or school or whatever it is that may be your responsibility. Okay? And if that's not viable nor applicable, hey, there's evening time or there's afternoon time. If you can't even, like, fit that into your weekends, you have to find time, essentially. If you're a quality time kind of person, you need to find time. Okay. And this is kind of linking into, journaling, talking to yourself, but get honest with yourself. Again, we mentioned self-care is about being honest with yourself, especially when the truth is hard to admit. Tell yourself what you need to hear, okay? If you are going through a very specific situation, I promise you it's very rare that you'll find an answer from someone else. There's only so much that, a person listening to you can really tell you. The answers are within you because nobody knows you like you know you, okay? So again, I highly recommend the form of catharsis because you will learn so much from yourself. But definitely, if that doesn't work, you can reach out to someone and spend quality time with them. Okay? Let's get into acts of service. Okay, so for my people that value acts of service, check something off your to-do list. Okay, and if you don't have a to-do list, make one. Okay, because there is nothing for people that value acts of service than a sense of completion. Okay, when we like having acts of service done for us, it is important that we mirror that same energy back into our day. Okay, so again, check something off your to-do list. Even if it's a difficult task, even if it's an easy task, you could also rank stuff based on difficulty, how long it'll take, and the deadline for it. Again, doesn't matter what it is, you're just kind of chasing that feeling of fulfillment and completion. Okay? Again, do something your future self will thank you for. Honestly, I've had to really drill this into my head because I never used to be someone that was good at cleaning my room. Or just cleaning in general. I'm a very messy person in my head. Or I should say I was. Okay, but doing something your future self will thank you for. So for me, it was cleaning my room. Because you just can't focus in a space that is messy and crowded. Our brains translate whatever it looks at. And if we are looking at chaos, our brain is going to think chaotic thoughts. It really is that deep. People think it isn't that deep. A clean space makes the world of a difference. So you're going to know in yourself, what is it that I'm putting off? But if I actually got into the habit of doing, I'd be so thankful, I'd be thankful for myself, and I'm sure others will be thankful for me. Think about it and do it. Okay? Again, I keep stealing the thunder from my own notes. Declutter or clean your space. Okay, this is so underrated. I'm sure a lot of people have spoken about the topic, but literally, I can't go now without at least making my bed. At the very least, guys, make your bed. Because again, if it's something you don't want to do, you're pushing discipline, first of all. Second of all, if your room is messy, but your bed is clean, and you've got no stuff on top of your pillows, you've got no stuff on top of your sheets, it's just cleanly, just nicely made, okay, is what I'm trying to say. Psychologically, you're going to be more willing to be productive, okay? It really is just 5 minutes of doing something every day. And when you realize once that 5 minutes is up, hey, I can actually do more. That's how you build a good habit, okay? Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm going to link that book in the description as well. That is a really, really amazing book that I read for building habits, building good habits and breaking bad ones, okay? Cook yourself a nourishing meal, okay? We really are what we eat, and I like this ideology with not just food consumption, but with our thoughts, music, but I'm not going to go on that huge tangent right now because there is a lot of content in this video as it is. But if you're an acts of service kind of person, and again, I ask most of the audience to watch everything, because if you have all of these on lock, do you know how insane development a person could have if they just did all of these things? It would be stellar. It would be great. But cook yourself a nourishing meal. Make yourself a nice breakfast, I was kind of dogging on short form content, but I actually kind of enjoy watching cooking TikToks. I never used to be much of a cooking person, but TikToks have literally changed the game for me to learn how to cook and make some really amazing meals. So again, you'll know what your relationship with food is, but most importantly, if you want to get the most out of life, you need to be feeding yourself. You need to be eating well. You need to be not neglecting yourself, because again, self-care is hardest to do when you need it the most, but it is so hard to do literally anything if you don't have energy. Okay, so prioritize that for sure. Again, this is not going to apply to everyone. So I'm kind of splitting this into two separate things: donations and volunteering. So you can either donate to a cause you believe in, because it's acts of service, and if you don't have the means to donate, volunteer. There are so many volunteering opportunities that I've done myself that have just felt so gratifying, like not only for the things that you are doing, but the people that you get to like meet. Like if you're genuinely like a people person and you love to interact and you also like to learn things and develop as a person, volunteering is really that go. Like, I like volunteering. I volunteered at schools, I volunteered at daycares, I volunteered at like senior centers. Like, it is genuinely such a nice thing to do. And even though, again, you're doing it for other people, this is truly that one thing where it feels gratifying to do back to yourself, because it's like, it's very reciprocal in my opinion. Okay? Set goals. If you guys want me to make a video on goal setting, let me know, because I did a whole course when I went to college just strictly dedicated to goal setting and achieving your goals. Let me know. But acts of service, guys, set monthly goals to work towards. A lot of what acts of service is rooted in is obviously the doing, but also the feeling that you get once you've accomplished something. Like, it really does feel good to be kind of moving upwards in progression. And we know as humans that progression is not linear. It is impossible to always be like this. We have crap that happens in life. We've got bad weather days. We've got congestion. Like, what am I doing? We've got missed alarms. Like, there's just so much wrong that could happen, but we don't really want to think about that, okay? That's why we make the plans. So we stay consistent and we know what to stick to. Also, what is my hair doing? It's literally driving me mad. I'm sorry, guys. Receiving gifts, okay? If this is you or your partner's love language, stay tuned. Buy yourself flowers, okay? And I'm only just throwing that as an example because maybe you don't like flowers, but buy yourself something nice, essentially, is what this is alluding to. Again, we have to be very careful with everything we do here, because anything in excess is not good. Okay, even the things that seem good in excess is not good. That's why self-care is the balance thing. Just like this little pendulum thing going on we have here. English, I love it. It's my second language, guys. Buy yourself something nice, okay? It is quite nice, to order a package online and know that it's working its way to arrive at your house. It really is nice to treat yourself once in a while. So, not putting it past anyone. Like, me personally, I love buying myself books. I am a huge bookworm, always have, always will be. Reading books from a young age is literally what taught me English. Like, I'm not an English native speaker, so I really like books, and I like collecting perfumes as well. I like to smell good. So you'll know what it is for you. Okay? Buy yourself flowers. Buy yourself something nice. You like receiving things, okay? As someone that is like gift giving, receiving things, learn something new, okay? Enroll in a new course or class or something that you've really wanted to learn. We are humans of so many different facets. It is just fascinating how much differentiations people have between each other. Like, someone might like history, someone might like geography, someone might like cooking, and again, someone might like stuff like entertainment and dance, and love that people care and have passions for things. So what do you want to learn? Is it a new language? Do you want to learn how to cook? Do you want to learn a specific sport? Get to know yourself. This is essentially a part of self-care, and once you know what you like to do, enroll in it. Skillshare, if you want to sponsor this video. I'm just kidding. Next thing, start a DIY project, okay? DIY might not be everyone's thing in this group, but essentially what I'm getting at with DIY is building something that has evident progress, okay? So for some people, this might be starting out a business. You've got a hobby that you like, and maybe you've wanted to monetize it for a while, start that. If you don't even want to make money off of something, you can probably still make it for free. Again, it's the idea that, you're helping someone, or you're moving forward with a specific hobby or goal is what's going to feel really good for you. Okay? Again, this goes into the buying yourself flowers thing, but splurge on something you've been wanting to get. Okay? The thing that I like to do that stops me from spending so much money and staying quite financially reasonable is putting the things that I really want. Guys, my phone decided it had enough and decided to turn off because too much storage apparently, even though, guys, literally I delete videos every day on this phone, because I'm editing stuff and then I have to import. I'm not even kidding, I don't know what's going on with today. The YouTube gods are not on my side. Without exaggeration, I recorded the intro to this video 20 times because I couldn't get into the flow. That is my cat. Are you done, sweetheart? Okay, let's get into what I was talking about. So, what I like to do if I really want something, and guys, it's normal to want things. It really is normal. But what's not normal is impulsive spending. So, what I like to do when I really want to buy something, but don't want to waste my money immediately, is I like to put my wants into jail. Okay? And this is a metaphorical jail, but the concept of wish lists is the perfect thing for this. If you put the things that you want into wish list jail and you put it on a specific hold, for some people it's dependent on your means and it's dependent on your financial goals. But for me, if I really like something, sometimes I'll be so harsh on myself that I'll put it into jail for a year before I can buy it. For things that don't cost that much money, that I know that I will want, still down the line, I'll maybe say 3 months, okay? But it's essentially exercising your impulsivity. That's one thing I really like to do. But of course, I want to mention that as part of splurging on something you've been wanting to get, you still have a right to treat yourself. But again, it's dependent on your goals. Okay? Next thing for receiving gifts is ordering takeout. Okay. Self-care is something we plan to do consistently, but it's things like this that, again, you can kind of pick and choose and put into your week. So for me, I don't really even live anywhere where you can order takeout, but when I go to the city, say I go to the city once a month and I go stay at my friend's house, or I literally do anything, I will order food because it's a treat. And self-care, even though we've been conditioned to make it feel like a treat, should feel consistent. But this would definitely be a little treat thing, you know what I'm saying? Working on a DIY project or learning, putting an investment into your education, this is a self-care that can be done every day. Remember, just be reasonable with it. I'm not telling you to do things a specific way. You have free will to do what you like, but this is just my advice. Another thing I'm going to say is invest in your business or hobbies. So I really feel like this does tie into enrolling in a new class or course. But when you invest something, it's honestly putting out a huge message into the universe that this is something that you want to attract more of. And it's the same thing, even all spirituality stuff aside, for your subconscious mind, for your mind that is deeply rooted in what is sitting inside of it, subconscious mind is like a sponge. It'll absorb anything you put inside of it. And one thing I've learned about the subconscious mind is it's seriously effective in helping you manifest whatever you want. Okay? If you can get your subconscious mind down to the level where it will believe pretty much whatever you want, it's already yours. Seriously. So invest in your business or hobbies just as a nice little intention of putting out the things that you care about into the universe, because what you put out will come back to you. This world is very, very reciprocal. Okay? Words of affirmation, okay? First thing I'm going to say for this group is to start a gratitude journal. You may not realize it, but it's these little steps that you take that will actually impact your life so hard, and like obviously in the most positive way ever. Because when we're in a state of mind where we're grateful, we're pretty much on the same frequency as love. Like gratitude literally vibrates on the exact same frequency that love does. Do you know how powerful that is? Like, just to say that you're grateful for 3 things, 5 things. Nobody's saying you have to like sit in a state of gratitude for an hour. Like, yes, I'm aware life is all about hustle and bustle. But again, it's literally as simple as waking up in the morning. Before you go on your phone to doom scroll, before you do literally anything, 3 things you're grateful for. It can be anything. It can be material, it can be non-material, it can be a person, it can be a pet. Like, say I wake up tomorrow morning, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for the pillow that allowed me to have such a good night's rest because it was so comfortable for my head to lay on. I'm grateful for my room being so clean that I get to wake up and have a sense of clarity because there's no clutter around. And when things feel clean, or I guess when things look clean, I feel clean too. Right? I'm grateful for my cat. It makes me feel cozy. I don't know. It can literally be anything. A gratitude journal does wonders. And I think every group should consider doing something like that. If you're not someone that really likes to do things alone and you prefer like an accountability partner, like it would be so good to either set up like a little group, join a Discord server, or ask one of your friends like, hey, should we just like do this like gratitude exercise every morning or every evening? You know, set up something with someone if you don't feel comfortable doing it all by yourself. Because I get it, like self-care can be jarring when you have to do everything alone. Like, you can make self-care partially in solitude and you can make it with people. It's the best part about it, right? Balance though. Okay? Another thing for you guys, write notes for yourself and stick them around your space. Me, currently, I have 3 different things on my wall. I have a little thing that I tell myself every single day that I took from the Think and Grow Rich book. I'll link that in my bio too. And it's just essentially about reframing my mindset and sticking to my goals, staying confident within them. And I just have a whole script, and I have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 7 sticky notes going in descending order with a bunch of stuff that I like to tell myself to just keep going, you know what I mean? This is important. You're going to be looking at it every day. It's like as powerful as a vision board. And I have another little note on my mirror that says, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. Okay, just some inspo here. But again, if you know that there's something within yourself that you lack and you want to improve, like you can literally write anything uplifting related to that topic and stick it on a wall. I have another thing that is my definite chief aim in life, again from Think and Grow Rich, that I have stuck to my door. And I read it to myself every day because I want to manifest what I want. So I'm going to keep saying stuff until, again, subconscious mind, I believe it. So therefore I believe it. Naturally, my subconscious mind is going to start looking for ways to solve what I want to achieve. It's wild. And just as a little tidbit, I keep bringing up the subconscious mind because it is a topic I love. There is a book I read called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and there's a lot of beautiful things that I took away from that. I'm going to mention 2 things because I know this video is long and there's some more things I want to include, but if you want to check out the book, link in bio too. Subconscious mind cannot take a joke. That is one powerful thing I took away from this, is that your subconscious mind doesn't know what a joke is. It has no concept of it. So when we tell ourselves things, even in a joking manner, like, oh, I'm so stupid, or oh my god, like, I'm just so dumb, like, I can't learn anything. We know in ourselves that we are telling a joke, but our subconscious mind does not. This is why it is so, like, I can't stress this enough. Be very careful with the words that you tell yourself. Because again, the subconscious mind really does take a toll on things that are negative, because it will feed off of anything you give it. So again, this is why it's imperative that you have, things surrounding your space that make you feel good, that make you feel confident, that make you feel like, hey, you know what, like, I am entitled to the very best life and I'm gonna live it. So that's one thing. The other thing is the things that you tell yourself before you go to bed, right? Anecdotal, but I failed my learner's test 3 times. I learned everything there was to learn, but I just did not believe in myself. It wasn't until the 3rd time, right? And get this, before I went to bed, I told myself I'm going to pass this test. Like, I'm going to pass this test. And I kept reinstating that to myself. And this book really emphasizes the fact on waiting until you get sleepy. And I'm giving away so many tidbits like this for free, but literally it's because I want everyone to have access to this knowledge. Like, it's wild. Like, I know now that I can literally get just about anything I want. Obviously, you have to back it up with action. But it's all because you believe in yourself. And it's all because, again, you're waiting until you get tired. You're slowly slipping into your subconscious mind. And you're like, hey, I'm going to plant this seed. So me planting this seed was like, I'm going to get my learners. I got it the 3rd time. Maybe it's a 3rd time's a charm deal, but no, like, seriously. It's a powerful thing. So any books that I mention, I'm a broken record, but in the description. Next thing, try a mantra or a self-love meditation. Again, I know we've gone over meditation quite a few times, but a mantra is essentially what we repeat to ourselves time and time again, similar to an affirmation. And again, you could in theory say I have a mantra on my mirror and I have a mantra behind my door. Beautiful, effective, we love it. And I will link a self-love meditation in the description, because why not? I love to bear gifts and resources. Okay, this one is a really cool one that I like to do, and it is to set reminders on your phone with affirmations or self-care check-ins. Like, I know this is a loaded video, and I know it would be unrealistic to expect each and every one of you to dedicate all day every day to self-care. Of course not, but this is why it is such an impending topic that needs to be spoken about, because we don't include enough time in our day to take care of ourselves. Reminders are necessary, and if you can't implement, one thing every single day, make it one day a week, okay? Self-care Sunday, self-care Wednesday, whatever day you want, okay? Mine is Sunday. Like, I get a lot of stuff done on Sunday, but I allow the evening to, like, do what I want, you know what I mean? Or it's Saturday if Sunday is too busy. You'll know what day it is within yourself. Set reminders on your phone with affirmations. For me, I don't do this because I have an app called Mantra. Funnily enough, it's called Mantra, and there's a free version, there's a paid version, link in bio again. But I like it because you can literally have it set to any kind of affirmations, and you can have them set every hour, once a day. I like mine to pop up every hour because it just feels so good. Like, it's just nice to be on your phone and then you get like a little notification saying like, I am worthy of success. It'll be something like that. And it can literally be about anything. Like, they have really done that app justice with any topic in regards to affirmation. So recommend that too if you're interested. But even like self-care check-ins, like just throwing on a reminder, let's say at like 7 p.m, 8 p.m, like, it is time to unwind. Like, even my Fitbit, I'm not wearing it right now, but my Fitbit has like a reminder for me that at 10 p.m. it is like time to unwind. And this helps. Like, it really does help, because again, we get so caught up in life that it's normal to forget, but we don't want to forget, of course, about ourselves. Another thing that has really helped me, and now that we're kind of segueing away from our love languages, our partner's love languages, anyone's love languages, there's this website that I found when I was 16, and it changed my life. Literally changed my life. It is one of the best websites I have come across, and it's kind of a funny story. I was having a terrible day. Of course, I don't remember what happened because things that happen are just, they don't last forever. But anyways, I was on Google and I typed in "I feel like," and what came up was this self-care game. I'm not joking. I felt like I had hit a pot of gold. And this is again why I am adding this into this video, because I would be doing this website an injustice. Okay, it's a free website. It is incredible. I've used it so many times. When I went back to my therapist, because I went to therapy in high school, I told her about this. I'm like, you have to tell all your clients about this because it is amazing. It will guide you step by step, and ask you questions like, hey, like, did you drink enough water today? And I know it sounds stupid, I know it sounds redundant, but genuinely, when I feel like I'm stuck in a rut and I know I need to take care of myself, but I need something to kind of push me, that's what it is. It'll honor your needs. It's not really like super abrasive at all, but it makes you focus on your basic needs. It makes you just, honestly, like, even if you don't feel 100% better, anytime I've like played the self-care game, I felt better. Like, I will never feel like 100 times worse playing it, so it's definitely worth a shot, right? Again, to each their own, but give it a go for sure. Now, I'm going to get into the different kinds of self-care, right? So we've gone over hard truths. We've gone over what our love language is, maybe what our partner's love language is, because that's cool to know too, right? Reciprocation, we love that. We have the youfeellike.com website. I'm not allowed to say it because I don't want YouTube to take down my video. And now we are going to get into the different kinds of self-care. So hi guys, little intermission. Yes, I'm wearing a clown filter because I feel like a clown right now. I was going to talk about 8 different kinds of self-care. Edited my video, decided I'm scratching that last one out, so it's only going to be 7. Thank you very much. Enjoy the video. 8 written here. I'm sure there are more. But again, this is already a hugely long video. But I don't want to leave you guys without anything, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to mention all of these different kinds of self-care, but while I'm going through them, again, this is a very interactive video. Like, I want you to think about this at the same time. There's 8 different things. While I'm going through all of this, and you can take notes too, you can tell me, or to yourself, tell me one aspect of this self-care, or like one element of self-care from these 8 that you are drawn to, okay? One that you are already good at, one that you want to improve on, okay? First one, let's get into physical. So in here we've got sleep. So a huge component of physical self-care, of course, is our sleep, okay? The best way to encourage good sleep, and I learned this from Mr. Andrew Huberman, I love Huberman Lab, is by viewing sunlight and viewing sunrise. Now, this is hard for some people, especially when it comes to waking up early. But if you can view sun just as it rises and sun just as it goes down, it helps with your circadian rhythm. Like, it helps you sleep. But of course, there are also so many other things that come into sleep health. If you guys want me to make a video separately on any of these things, like anything that sticks out to you that you're like, hey, like, I could probably do with learning more about that, let me know, because I love everything that's connected to all forms of self-care. Stretching. So yoga's a very good thing of this, and yoga's already mentioned in the physical list, but stretching definitely helps. Helps relieve stress, because honestly, it's very interesting how stress manifests on our body, because stress is energy, and what happens when energy doesn't have really anywhere to go? It's gonna attach somewhere. And I had one massage therapist tell me that humans are like unicorns in the way that they hold stress very uniquely. So how one person holds stress on their body is very different from how another will. For example, for me, I store stress in my neck and shoulders. That's where it gets bad. So I know that every day I have to focus on that area in my body. But for somebody else, like, they might store stress in their back, in their legs, in their joints, in their feet. So it's about, again, knowing yourself and then honoring that part of yourself too. So healthy food is also an important thing. We did cover that already, so I'm not going to say too much. Same with walking. I love the idea of 10K steps. Like, I used to do that quite a lot in the summertime. So walking, you know, how little or how much is not relevant. It's still good for you. Rest. Okay? I know that self-care can seem kind of overwhelming with how much I've spoken about it today, but really there's also beauty in doing nothing. I had someone tell me in one of my comments, and I did take it down because I'm still not very good at criticism. I will get better though. But they kind of told me, like, you're not worthy if you're not doing anything. You know what I mean? And I guess, like, in some respects, they kind of just mean it in the sense where if there is no physical progress, what is there that's worthy about that? True, but also, we're not here to burn ourselves out, right? Like, if you've watched this much of my video thus far, you're here because you care about yourself. And if you care about yourself, you're not gonna always be pushing yourself. That's not realistic. Rest. Okay? Next type of self-care is emotional self-care. A huge part of emotional self-care is our stress management. Remember how I said self-care is the hardest when you need it the most? It's also incredibly difficult when you're stressed. Okay, so it's all about your stress management. What are some remedies that you have tried that have worked, and what are some that haven't? Okay, emotional maturity is another one. How do you react in particular situations? Are you triggered by the past? Or would you say that the past is still in consideration, but you don't let it affect how much a situation triggers you? Forgiveness. Emotional self-care is the ability to forgive yourself, forgive others, forgive past you. There is just so much crap that goes on in the world, like, you might as well just forgive here and there. It doesn't hurt. Compassion, so genuinely caring for yourself and for others. Kindness also applies the same way in that aspect, like kindness for yourself will translate into kindness for others, because the more that you recognize that within yourself, the more inclined you'll be to do it for others. And again, you won't be holding it from a place of resentment because you've already presented it to yourself. Okay? Social self-care. Having boundaries. Okay? Whether this is how a friend treats us, or how our partner treats us, or whether this comes down to, like, peer pressure. You know, if there's something you don't want to do, it's about having your boundaries set. Or if there's something that you have to attend, like a social event, but, like, you're just not feeling it mentally, like, you just can't do it. Again, about having boundaries, like, you don't have to be a yes man to everything, because again, that's going to lead to burnout. Support systems. Okay? Knowing who your support system is, I really do say less is more with this kind of stuff, because, you know, as much as it is great to have a lot of connections, you can't have high quality connections with a lot of people. Like, it's just hard to sustain that. It's hard to get deep on, like, an emotional level with a lot of people. Like, it's hard to do. And again, not everyone is like that. A lot of people feel very surface level because that's all they're willing to give, right? So it's about knowing who's willing to reciprocate that energy with you. Positive social media. Okay, so this video that you're watching now, I would hope would be considered positive social media, because this is made with the intent of helping you grow, of helping you know yourself, and of educating you on self-care things. But negative social media may look like stuff that may trigger you to slip back into old habits. It might trigger you to neglect yourself. It might trigger you to compare yourself. Like, I used to have a negative social media because I would follow girls that I would constantly compare myself to. And even though in my head I had it figured out, like, yeah, like, this is a good thing, like, it's gonna inspire me to become a better version of myself. No, it did the total opposite. So really weed out certain content creators if you don't feel like they are adding value to your life and adding to your metaphorical garden. Like, it's time to say goodbye. And again, this goes for also like non-content creators, but still like people that you know from like high school or any kind of situation where like there's just no point of them being there. Don't allow them. You know, your time is very precious, and it's the same thing on social media too. You might as well cater it as much as possible to it being a positive experience. Communication is very key. This is such a big topic, but again, knowing your boundaries, valuing reciprocation, and communication is scary. It's hard to be vulnerable around people, but the right ones will never make it a problem. They'll never make it a point of argument. So it really is just trial and error, but make sure you communicate well. If there is a period of time where you're going to be away, like you just can't talk to your friends, communicate that. Just let them know. Time together, social self-care. Of course, our alone time is also important, but spending time with people helps as well. We can't have too much of one thing. And asking for help. This is one thing that is very difficult for some people because they are so used to controlling a lot of stuff in their life and they're used to the independence, but asking for help does not make you weak. It makes you strong in realizing what you need. Okay? Spiritual. Time alone. And are very opposite from time together. Time alone is also very valuable. We've mentioned a lot of things that we can do alone. Meditation again, yoga, connection, nature, journaling, and having a sacred space. Okay? This may be, if you're religious, right, this could be, you know, for example, a temple, a mosque, a church, going to that sacred space. And if you're not religious or you don't have the means to go to a religious place all the time, your room. This is so important. How you make this space will make or break, you know, a lot of how you perceive the world. And I know that sounds deep, like, what the hell, like, I just sleep in this room sometimes, like, what do you mean? It's important. No, it is, because it's an energetic thing. That's why it's important to keep it clean. It's important to fill it with things that make you feel good as opposed to deter you from feeling good. Okay? Keep that in mind. I know I like whiz past spiritual, but I've already mentioned a lot of stuff here, so again, I don't want to repeat myself, don't want to waste your time. Personal self-care. Now, what does that mean? Hobbies. What are some things that you actually enjoy putting your time into that don't necessarily involve a sense of competition, maybe, or it can, but like things where you don't have to be like fantastic at it, but you enjoy doing it. Hobbies. Knowing yourself. Personal identity. So, you know, this covers a lot of things, but like your culture, your nationality, the type of foods you like, the type of clothes you wear, the way that you like to express yourself internally and externally, and essentially knowing your true self. Space for self-care. Safety. Do you feel safe where you are? Healthy living environment. What is the dynamic like at home where you live? What is the health of your house in general? You know what I mean? Like, do you have an infestation? Is it clean? Like, is it a threat to your health? Security and stability. Do you feel, obviously there's a factor of feeling safe at home, but in terms of like, you know, your neighborhood and like your environment, how is that? Is that impacting your mental health in some way? And again, organized space. I cannot stress this enough. Like, so important. Like, if it is the correct time to do so, like, please, when you're done watching this video, take 5 minutes to clean your room. because that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna clean my room. Of course I am. Financial self-care, saving money, budgeting, money management, splurging where necessary. Oh my god, my hair is crazy. And paying your bills. Okay? Saving money, there's a myriad of ways to do this. Some people will get envelopes and number them 1 to 1,000, let's say. It depends on how high they're saving. But let's just say in this case, it's 1 to 100. And every day or every week, they will pick a number at random. And they'll put that number that's on the envelope, they'll take out cash and put that money in the envelope. Or they've got multiple savings accounts in which they put a percentage, a fraction, you know. What our financial knowledge is and background is going to be very different, so I don't want to say too much of one thing or not enough of another. But again, I did read Think and Grow Rich. It's mainly just about like how you alter your mind into attracting more money. But if you do want a separate video, do let me know. I will do my research, okay? But again, like just having financial health in general and just like knowing what your priorities are, like knowing what bills are coming up that you need to pay, but you also want to save. This is a life skill, okay? And if you have like a healthy mindset around finances, everything else that's... I seriously think at this rate I need to buy a camera and an SD card because my phone is just not loving all these videos and how long they are. Okay, what I was gonna get at, and again this is editor me, sorry I look a little different. Okay, balloons. Add a little pizzazz to my video, why don't you? When you're already in the mindset of building like healthier finances, whether it's, you know, paying off your credit card in full, whether it's prioritizing whatever bills you have to pay, and then later on treating yourself to stuff, it makes every other aspect that we've mentioned about self-care so much easier because you decided to pave the way to having a healthier mindset around money. Like, I promise you, if your mindset around money is not healthy, regardless of whether you're rich, regardless of whether you're not rich, it's going to be difficult to take care of yourself because you're teaching yourself that impulsivity is okay, when in actuality, when we do anything impulsively, like, we're not taking our greatest consideration into it, and we could be making mistakes in doing that. So yeah, keep that in mind. I hope that this video was of value to you. It was honestly such a pleasure making this video. I have loved being in the sphere of self-care for years now. It's genuinely so fun for me, and again, I hope you took a lot of what I've learned over the years away and that you can actually apply it into your real life. Again, thank you so much for your time and energy. It is really appreciated here on this channel, and remember, take reign of your own life.